Hello, Sam Roberts.
And look who's decided to join me is Penn Jillette.
In the house.
The new Penn Jillette.
The new Penn Jillette.
I have a couple questions. First of all,
Uh-huh.
the number one question after reading the book Presto.
Uh-huh.
Did you gain the weight for the movie?
Yes, I did.
You did. You did.
And that's why the Academy Award is waiting for me. I put on 110 pounds to be a part of the director's cut.
You did.
And now I'm back to my natural state.
One of my favorite things about the book is I feel like it's not a diet book, certainly by any stretch, because you tell people don't do this diet. but it's also like there's so much confessional in it.
Yeah.
Like you kind of own up to trying to pass off whatever part of your life you're in, passing off on this is the way people should be living.
Yeah.
Right? So when you're a fat guy, you're like, no, this is it. You should be more like me. You don't need to lose all that weight. You don't. And then when you start to lose the weight, it's like, what are you doing? Eating salt is poison. What are you guys doing? And then even the stories of the people who were vindictive against you, and you go, but that was because I was an asshole. Yeah. like everything is sort of taking blame on yourself and owning up to it, which I loved.
Yeah, well, it's all my fault.
It is. What did you think when you were doing the diet? Mm-hmm. Are you thinking, because the diet, you started just eating potatoes.
Yeah, it was pretty intense.
Yeah, 2 weeks of literally just potatoes.
Yeah, and that was because it was performance art. You know, I got to do stuff. I got to do stuff wacky.
Yeah,
and that's the thing I never realized about diet is that portion control.
Yeah.
I would have a little piece of salmon, a little piece of that's jive for me. But I'm going to eat just potatoes for 2 weeks. I can get behind that.
Right.
I mean, that's like jumping out of an airplane.
And are you thinking at the same time, like, I'm going to write about this?
I wasn't. That's the wacky thing. But that doesn't mean that I wasn't thinking this is a cool thing.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You're still going, I want to, you want to get stories is all
That's
you
it.
want.
That's it. And I don't know what I'm going to use the story for.
Yeah.
Right.
But stories to tell yourself. I once was talking to this woman. This was years and years ago. Mm-hmm. And she told me that when she was 15 years old, she met Elvis. And then Elvis hit on her, wanted to fuck her. And she said, I got out of that thing. And I went, okay, I don't need to talk to you anymore.
Right. Because why wouldn't you?
Because your reason for living is different from mine.
Right.
If I got hit on by Elvis,
right,
I would have sex with him.
You would.
Yes.
Of course you would.
And if I were in, that's the thing about attacking Monica Lewinsky for blowing Bill Clinton. If I were right now in the Oval Office with Obama and he said, Penn, do you want to blow me? I would say, yes.
Yes, I do.
Because when I die on my deathbed, looking back on the story,
right,
which story do you want to tell?
Yeah.
I was in the Oval Office and said no to Obama.
Right.
Not a bad story.
Right.
I was in the office and said
right there.
Yes to Obama. That's a story that could go on 30 years.
Right. Right.
And
because if you go, he propositioned me, and you're like, oh my God, what did you say? No. Oh, okay. That's crazy.
You're crazy.
So anyway, what happened to me the other day?
And exactly telling stories.
Yeah.
For 2 weeks, I had a slightly smaller portion of salmon, right, and I had a little less butter on my carrots.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good story.
Right.
I was banging this hooker on Fremont Street. Oh, that's that. Okay, let's go to that story.
Let's do that one.
But I ate nothing but potatoes. I was what? I was banging this what?
You ate nothing? You mean, no, wait, nothing? Nothing.
No. Right. You mean you had potatoes with like cream cheese? And said, no, right, but potatoes.
So you must have like bacon on the potato.
No, just potato. Yeah. Then we got a story. Right. And I don't care where I tell that story.
Right.
I might not even tell it to anybody. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's the important thing that people don't understand about stories. Stories are not about bragging to other people. Stories are what your life is.
Yes.
So the idea that in 3 months I lost 0.9 pounds a day, and none of my clothes fit, and all my friends said, "Oh, you've got Zika." Yeah,
right.
Yeah, you got Ebola. Oh,
right,
yeah, I do.
Right.
I do.
How's the AIDS?
I actually have throat Ebola. I don't have ass Ebola.
Oh, good.
So that's how you lose it. I'm okay. And that's where it is. So, you want to do that stuff. What I realized was that I do not respect moderation at all. Mm-mm. Anybody that says they're doing stuff in moderation, it's like, okay, we're done talking. Fuck you. Who cares?
I was just talking to somebody about, like, this concept of work-life balance.
Yeah.
And they're like, there's no balance.
No balance.
There's no balance.
Balance is never interesting.
No.
You know, even on the teeter-totter when you were a kid, the balance was interesting. Jumping off, breaking the other guy's ass. That was interesting.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
When the fat guy jumps on and the little guy goes flying. That's great.
That's not balance.
Yeah.
So I said, you know me. I don't watch movies other people watch.
Right.
I don't read books other people watch. I don't listen to music other people listen to. Why the fuck was I eating like a fucking American?
Right.
Why was I eating the same stuff all the Americans eat? I was eating the stuff, you go out with your friends and have a pizza. That's what they tell me on TV. I don't do what they tell me on TV.
You never have.
They tell me who to vote for. I don't do it.
Right.
Like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Why was I eating that way? And when I ate potatoes for just 2 weeks, my taste changed, my guts changed.
That was so interesting. It's like it made me want to experience what you experienced when you first ate corn after.
Yeah. Oh, it's
like,
really great.
Well,
we get ourselves so. I don't use the word addicted because that's a disrespectful word.
Mm-hmm.
But you get yourself habituated to
Right.
this is what I eat, and it's amazing. I think you could do an entire physical.
Mm-hmm.
An entire physical by a doctor. This is what the physical should be. You walk into the doctor's office. The doctor takes a tub of movie popcorn, and he puts it under your nose. Says, "Does that smell good to you?" If you say yes, they put you right in the hospital. If you say no, he goes, "Okay, you're done. You're fine."
So you think it's that set like that we've become so skewed in how we're supposed to eat that our taste, like the things that are bad, we like.
Yeah. We eat crankcase oil on a salt lick. We might as well be eating the little blue cakes of urinal ice. We got ourselves to that point, and you get used to it. It's amazing what you can get used to.
Yeah.
And we watch people who do drugs, and you go like, Elvis was doing what, 60 Percodan a day?
Yeah.
How does he get to there? Well, the same way you got to a whole cheesecake, you fat fuck. It was the exact same way. You build yourself up. Now, I don't have the cravings. The wacky thing is, and this is true in all of fucking life.
Right.
Do things the hard way, it ends up being the easy way.
Yes.
You got a test coming up, guess what? If you do the hard thing and study, the test is going to be easy.
Actually do the work.
Yeah.
And you'll be prepared for
It's really, really easy.
Yeah.
At your job.
Yeah.
If you show up on time and do what you say you're going to do, whole job gets easier.
Right. Right.
If you come in late every day and don't do quite what you say you're gonna, your job is always hard. Turns out, if you do the hard work and get yourself down to your proper weight and eat perfectly, life gets easier.
Yeah, because then it's not that difficult to eat right because you're like, this is what I want to eat.
All that stupid shit that your parents told you turns out to be right.
So, was there any concept for you of what your identity was, right? Like, when I was a kid, I was a short kid, like really short. I was the shortest kid in school, and I started doing growth hormone.
Did you really?
Yeah, because they told me I was only going to be, as an adult, I'd be lucky to hit 5 feet. I might be like a grown man who's 4'11".
How do you feel about doing that?
I feel perfect. I thought
because
my
my daughter,
decision.
we were talking about that, and my daughter's looking at like 5'2". Of course, for a girl, it's a little
easier.
And they talked to us about that, and I said, I know a lot of people that chose not to. I don't know anybody that I do know someone that did. Sam,
I did because in my head, even then, I was like 12 or 13, and I was like, I know that men are taken much less seriously. If they're short, you have to work harder.
Yeah, look how Trump kicked Bloomberg's ass, huh? Yeah, except Bloomberg really has the money, and he's really smart. Exactly. He's not an asshole. Exactly. But all the same, he's just short.
Exactly.
Big hands, though.
Right. That's the
so difference. How tall are you now?
I'm 5'9.5", just a skirt under 5'10".
Okay, so
and I'm happy. Average.
Average male height for America.
And that's what I wanted. But I did struggle with the idea of, and I didn't realize I was going to until I kind of started, and this thing hit me of, wait, even though nobody wants to be the short kid, I've been the short kid forever.
You were the guy.
And now that's not going to be me anymore. So you're not going to be big fat Penn Jillette anymore. You're going to look like a different guy.
There was I changed my show tremendously because there's a gravitas of simply standing on stage over 300 pounds.
Yeah.
You just have this kind of power. And my voice changed. It's wacky. I was recording an audio book for this political book called Kindly Inquisitors, fabulous book. And I was recording it when I lost all the weight. And we went back and listened to, I was doing pickups. You punch in, this is screwed up, you cough, we had a train sound in the background, and we couldn't match it. My voice actually changed. And, of course, my voice is a big part of who I am.
Yeah.
And I also move different on stage. I mean, turns out that just standing on stage at 300 pounds means the same thing as pacing on stage at 230. It turns out there's all these things, and my voice has, I didn't change in pitch, but different resonances, different, because you're bouncing off all that stuff in you.
And so what do you have to do? Like, do you go back and start watching the shows to see what you look like now and figure out?
No.
Or you just feel it on stage?
You just feel it. Oh, the audience isn't, that sentence doesn't land when I'm just standing. So I'll move like this. Oh, it does land now. And it's pretty interesting. I also found, and one guy asked me this, I did a book signing last night, and one guy asked me this. He said to me, did your muscles change in juggling when you lost all this weight? And I said, you're the only one who's asked me that, and I had no idea that was going to happen. When I lost all the weight, I pick up my juggling stuff, I'm going to juggle, and I can't do it as well. And I go, what's happened? It's not the strength, but the muscle memory, how to move these muscles changed. Now, it took me 2 weeks to get it all back. Nothing. Working like 15 minutes every other day.
Yeah.
It was like 2 hours of work to get that back. But it was amazing that my body had to learn that differently.
Right. Because your body's different.
Yeah, it's a different body. You're controlling, the little homunculus that sits in your brain and controls your body is working with a different machine.
And so what do you do at the same time? Go, fuck it, I'm going to cut the hair too?
Well, yeah. Well, I realized that 45 years of long hair had not ended the war. So maybe I could give up. No, when minoxidil, which is a baldness drug, is also a high blood pressure drug. And I was on massive doses. So my hairline was really thick and really in. And then when my hairline from the minoxidil being gone, I think, started going back a little bit, and my hair thinned out, I said, oh, now I look like one of those guys that has a ponytail that's not a real ponytail. It's like that impotent ponytail.
Rich, you're hanging on to the back because you think it'll bring the front back, and it's like it doesn't work that way.
And I just said, I'll just go with what I am. And now I think I look like a 61-year-old man. As a matter of fact, my friend said, you lost the weight, you changed your glasses, you cut your hair, now you look precisely like an English professor at a community college who's trying to fuck the students. And I said, well, that's what I'm going for.
Right.
That's where I want to be seen.
The intellectual that wants to fuck the students is Penn Jillette. And now you look like that.
Now I get that.
It doesn't catch people off guard as much.
I'm expressing myself properly.
That's good. Yeah. I love that. Now, I do want to talk about the moments in the book, because I loved the two stories of people in Hollywood being vindictive against you and you kind of taking some ownership of that. The first was when you talked about Donald Trump. As you know, I was a big Celebrity Apprentice fan, for better or worse.
Yeah.
And I had no idea that he had just said, fuck Penn and his charity, because he said my hair looked like cotton candy made of piss. Yeah. I didn't know that you had lost the show for that specific reason.
We don't know either.
Right.
We don't know either, but Donald Trump did say that.
Yes.
But we also know that when Donald Trump says something, it only means in that second.
Exactly.
He's mercurial.
Right.
You can't ever nail him down.
And I think people know that now more than ever.
Yeah.
Right? As much as he's been out there, they're like, yeah, I guess he just says whatever is on his mind at the moment.
He says whatever's on his mind and then stands behind it.
100%, as if it's his lifelong belief.
Which is, if you wanted to say one thing, to my son, it would be willing to quit. Because I remember I joined Little League when I was like 13, whenever you join Little League.
Sure.
And I was shitty, and I hated it.
Right.
And I would keep going because I did this, I'm not going to quit. My dad would go, listen, we're not a sports family. Yeah. I don't want to go see you in the games, but I'm going to support you in every game.
Right.
You're in the outfield. You're not having fun. Your team doesn't like you.
This isn't for you.
Quit. And I go, Dad, I don't like to quit things. He goes, you got to quit, man.
Right. He told you that.
And my dad was not with the band because my dad was older, but learning to quit is really important, and it seems like Donald Trump has not learned that simple life lesson. Okay, they're Muslims, their son's dead, they attacked me, fuck them.
Right.
Their son's dead.
And he died serving our country.
Okay, I'm just going to, so about the Mexicans.
Right.
You got to learn to do that, and he does it. And I really do think on a really horrible alpha male, simian type level. If you and I are communicating and I absolutely don't back down on anything, I think it does make me, some monkey part of our brain, seem stronger. I really think that works.
Right.
But morality has to come in. And you have to at some point say, I'll look stronger if I stay on this point. I'll have more power if I stay on this point. But I'm wrong.
It's wrong, yeah. And if you're smart enough to know that you're wrong, you should be exercising that strength, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And also, I don't think Donald Trump has ever learned the joy of humility. You know, that feeling you get when you're dead wrong and you say it, and the person that you've been fighting fights back that one, because there's stuff in the buffer, right?
Right.
So they go, wait a minute, I'm wrong. And they go, oh. And there's that moment when they do, I've won.
Yes.
And they gloat, and that's that moment that you hate. Then there's that moment a couple beats later where they go, wow, I got to remember to do that, man.
Yeah.
He was wrong and he knew it. Fuck.
Yeah.
And there's that moment that I don't think he's ever felt.
No, I don't think so either.
And it's a really good feeling.
But he's avoiding it at all costs.
And you can also get addicted to it.
Being wrong?
You can get addicted to apologizing. You have to be careful about that too.
Right, because you think that every time you apologize, well, I'm learning something now, and I'm expanding, and I'm expanding. And it's
sometimes you're right.
You are sometimes. You are sometimes.
You and I have experienced that maybe less than the listeners.
I think so.
But,
but we'll insist that we're right probably more than the listeners.
Yeah, there you go. Bingo.
Yeah. So, but you're not, are you, it seems like you were probably aware of some of the foibles of Trump before the general public, right?
Yeah.
Like, we're all kind of becoming aware of this the more we see him and the more he's like kind of just shooting from the hip in an effort to become the president.
Well, you all, there's a sentence. Can you imagine when you were watching Celebrity Apprentice 6 years ago,
right,
in an effort to become the president?
Incredible.
You would have laughed your nutsack off. But it's happening.
Yeah.
You know, what was a joke is now our nightmare. I was, this is the thing, was I aware of Donald Trump's inadequacies to be president? Yes and no. Absolutely not, because the very things that make him bad as a president made him really good on that show.
Right.
You want. I mean, it's the right tool for the right job. Right. I mean, there's nobody that I respect more in the world than my partner Teller. He's probably the best magical mind who's ever lived. He's completely trustworthy. He does a perfect job. He's a wonderful performer. If he were going to run for president, I would do everything I could to stop him. His skill set does not include that of being president.
Right.
The thing that Donald Trump will never understand, when he first was running for president, he went batshit crazy that I said, I'm not going to support him as president. Now I got to tell you a story about what a grown-up does. Al Franken, Saturday Night Live writer and now senator from Minnesota. Al Franken wrote me an email saying, I'm running for Senate in Minnesota. Would you support me? And I wrote back to him and said, I've been over your house. I think you're a brilliant writer. I loved working with you on Saturday Night Live. We've hung out. We've watched TV together. You're a good guy. I trust you completely. I would trust you with anything. Your political beliefs and my political beliefs are very, very different. I don't think you should be senator of Minnesota. And I like you as a friend and as a writer, and I don't think I'm going to support you. I get an email back from Al Franken that said, thanks a lot for considering it. That's what a grown-up does!
And he was your friend after that?
Sure!
Look at that.
That's what a grown-up does.
Right.
Donald Trump, I went on Lawrence O'Donnell's show on MSNBC.
Right.
And I said, I liked working with him on Celebrity Apprentice. I really did. We made jokes back and forth and stuff like that. But I disagree with him on everything.
Right.
For president. I don't think he's the right guy, so I'm not supporting him for president. Penn's show sucks. He just starts tweeting this stuff. That's fine.
Right.
Okay? If you're running for president and some piece of carny trash, some bullshit little guy without a brain in his fucking head says shit about you and you attack him, great.
Right.
Beat up Penn Jillette all you want. What about when that guy's North Korea?
Right.
We all go to hell.
Right. Right.
I mean, his very attacks of me prove my point.
Right.
You don't see Abraham Lincoln going 7 years ago. There's this Vegas magician who's not that good. No. That's, ask not what your country can do for you. There's this fire eater I saw that I really don't like.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, JFK. We got to work about other stuff.
Just kind of leaving the teleprompter. Yeah, well, how about that Penn Jillette? Not good. Not a good magician. No.
I don't even know how his show is doing. Is it doing well?
I don't think so.
Is it selling well? And the whole audience is going, oh, man. There's terrorists that are trying to blow our asses up. We don't really care about. Okay, he sucks. Get on to the next thing.
Right.
I don't think he's selling well. I don't think he would be selling well at all without me. He sucks. He's terrible. ISIS. Let's work on ISIS. I think I might audit his ass. Yeah, audit his ass. Yeah. I got an idea. Put Penn in prison. Now, what about ISIS?
Just lock him up so we don't have to hear about him anymore.
We're fine.
Right.
Solitary.
Yeah. How about this, Donald? You won. You're right. Let's move on to the next thing.
Let's work on ISIS.
Right.
Because beating Penn, we've got under control. As a matter of fact, any one of us without the government could beat Penn. We can all tweet his show sucks. Matter of fact, let's all do that.
Yeah.
Let's all just tweet bomb him. His show sucks. Let him go cry. Put him in solitary confinement. Audit his ass. Let's all spit on him when we see him on the street. Now let's get to ISIS.
Right.
And strangely enough, that's precisely the way Penn Jillette feels.
Yeah.
Good. I'll be in solitary if you need me. Work
everything.
on ISIS.
Yes.
I'll come back out.
Yes.
Later.
I got to let you go on to the next interview. But I will say there's a great, even better than the Donald Trump story, is the Oliver Stone story.
Oh, well, we
love the Oliver Stone
thank
story.
You.
So get the book for that. It's called Presto. And I did want to tell you, you told me something years ago that stuck with me, and I've told other people because I think it's more true now. As the millennials get older and older, I think it's more true now than ever. This was like an interview I did with you at one of the Comic Cons.
Oh, sure.
Long time. It was with Fat Pen. It was a long time ago. But you told me a story about a guy at a Guns N' Roses concert fighting to get up on stage, and he finally gets up there and he has the microphone and it's his moment and he's got nothing to say. And it was this great story about people who want the opportunity to say something but have nothing to say. It's like they're either fighting for, and it's the same people that are fighting to be famous without actually working on a skill or whatever it is. And I just thought it was a good lesson for now more than ever. In terms of if you want to have a platform, first figure out what you've got to say.
He wants to be president.
Right.
That is not a goal.
Right. He wants to win. That's all he wants.
Being president is not a goal.
Yeah.
What should our country be?
Right.
And that's why, Gary Johnson, he will give you lists of reasons why he doesn't want to be president. And then he'll give you lists of reasons on why he thinks he can help.
Right.
That's what a grown-up does.
And he doesn't use the word great. Thank you so much, Penn Jillette. You can get the book. It's called Presto. I recommend it. It's not a diet book. No. It's Penn's story, because everybody asks him, why do you look like you look like right now?
Yeah.
You can find out if you buy the book. It's called Presto. It's great. I always love talking to you.
Oh, it's always a pleasure.
Hey, it's Sam Roberts back here in the SiriusXM studio with the most flattering camera angle that I could find. Listen to my show every night on XM 103, Sirius 206. It's Sam Roberts Show, Monday through Friday, starting at 9 p.m. Eastern and going all the way to midnight Eastern. At 6 p.m. on the West. We got celebrities all the time. You just saw a celebrity interview. If you want more and you want to find them as soon as they get uploaded to this channel, go to the side of the page and subscribe. You can get all kinds of celebrity interviews, clips from my show, wrestling stuff. You never know what you're going to find on the Not Sam YouTube channel. So subscribe.